morning, YouTube. Arizona RE, back out on the Scrambler. All of these bikes are fun to ride for different reasons. The Bonneville's just got this really tight, responsive turning. I mean, it just... The Tiger is like the Swiss Army knife of motorcycles. That thing is comfortable, it's quick. The Enfield, well, you get goofy grins from the Enfield just because it's the Enfield. You know, it's a slow poke and everything, but you're riding in style and it looks really great. And quite honestly, sometimes it's fun to ride a slow thing fast, you know. But the Scrambler, there's just something it's hard to explain about this bike and why it's so fun to ride. It's really no more powerful than the Bonneville, but the way this one is set up, it is particularly rambunctious with the exhaust, and I've removed all the smog stuff on it, and of course I calibrated the carburetors myself. So, and I don't know why, but it doesn't handle as well as the Bonnie as far as turning and quickness of leaning in and all that stuff. It's the bigger front wheel and longer suspension, no doubt. It's not as fast as the Tiger. It's not as cool and retro as say the Bonneville, but it's still fun in its own right. It's just, I don't know why, it's just so fun to blat around on this thing. I saw a road up here that I wanted to ride out on. I wasn't sure what it would look like, so bear with me here. I've never really, other than driveways and a couple of dirt roads, really had this bike out on some dirt. These Metzler Torrences seem like decent bikes, or seem like decent tires. Oh, I need some air coming in here. Speed limit 10 miles an hour. I'm not sure I can do that. Dead end, private road. Oof. Yeah, I'm not sure 10 miles an hour. I'm capable of that. If this is a private road, someone's likely to be pissed off about me riding down it. Oh, easy, easy, easy. Jeez, that lady did not see me. She's too busy looking the other way. I thought I saw a for sale sign down here. I'm trying to go 10 miles an hour. I don't want to spook any horses. That's like a big thing. No need to spook the horses. This is a pretty neighborhood, though. Oh, this is wild. Birch Construction. So is this someone's private driveway, or? Yeah, I'm thinking I may need to turn around here. See lots of footprints in the sand. So not only is there a lot of footprints, but there's also a lot of hoof prints and stuff like that. So I'd hate to really disturb someone's game out here. Oh wow, there's the Tanque Verde, right on the bank. Huh. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So when you're in Arizona, you know, there's this telltale sign that there's water just under the surface, right? And one of those telltale signs is the trees. You see all the trees get pretty lofty and tall around the dry river beds, but there's still water running just under the ground. But this is a real nice area. I'm gonna have to go on to Google and research and make sure that this easement is allowed for public access, because I saw a lot of private property signs. I want to make sure I'm not doing something I'm not supposed to. And as long as there's a public easement, then I'll come back and maybe do a little scrambler journal down this road. And then I'll share the location with Mr. Dan. But putting past all these houses is going to try to keep the exhaust nice and quiet. Don't need to scare people's horses. More importantly, I don't need to scare them. Not here to cause any trouble, just looking around, enjoying this beautiful county. Hello, horsey. That horse didn't even flinch at me coming by, so hopefully yeah, so I saw a lot of private property signs. But I did see a for sale sign up here. I really thought I saw a for sale sign, which would certainly justify me coming down this road to say, investigate what property is for sale, right? It doesn't say what type of conveyance you're supposed to ride down here. It did say 10 miles an hour, and I'm going 30. I just can't ride that slow. Who goes 10 miles an hour? What does this say? Well, JR Stables and Boarding, a home for your horse. How far down the road is that? I don't know. We'll have to check that out and figure out whether or not I was on private property. Make something happen. Till then, more exploration. I gotta say, I love my new neighborhood out here. I just bomb around all these roads. Isn't it amazing? There's like nobody out here. There's never anybody out here. There's a couple cars. Of course, there's that crazy lady that almost hit me going down the dirt road. But, you know, I get that when I'm just riding around on the regular street. At least that would have been a sub 10 mile an hour headache there, right? You know, it's enough to break your leg or crack a neck, I suppose. But, man, what a great time out here. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. What's this? And there are some serious horse ranches out here. You just wouldn't think of that when you think of Tucson, Arizona. You think of the giant cactus. You think of all this stuff. But look, all these mesquite groves and people raising horses in here. It's amazing. I mean, definitely a throwback to the Old West. I just, you know, having lived in the center of Tucson for so long, I did most of my growing up here. I just never, for me, I knew the history. I just never imagined Tucson still being, you know, part of a cowpoke society. Here you go, these horse trailers. People are coming out here like one might do to take their ATV out and go for a ride. People are bringing their horses over here to take the horse trails. Isn't that crazy? I mean, it's not crazy. It's neat, actually. It's really cool. But still. Well, I'm on a steel horse. So yeah, living out here has been way different. You know, in the mornings you could step outside of my old house and you'd hear sirens and a police helicopter and someone somewhere shouting and yelling. Out here, you step outside in the morning, all you hear is birds. Sit on the back patio drinking coffee, birds, bunnies. Every once in a while you hear the quail talking to each other. You hear the doves cooing at each other. In fact, here's what my coffee looked like this morning. Here's my coffee. And I'm watching the quail come right up to my backyard. This is what my backyard sounds like now. mean, it's almost two sides to one city. You know, inside you got all the, it's not even real urban, you know, because it's not like what you'd imagine for a regular typical inner city, say back east or in the Midwest. Just rows of tenement homes or high-rise, you know, Section 8 apartment towers and things like that. It's kind of, you know, Southern California pseudo suburban urban area is what Tucson is mostly. And as you ride through and you drive through Tucson, you know, just strip malls and shopping centers, and there's not a lot of industry in the middle of town. And then you get out here and just, you know, I realize to you folks back east, this does not look green, but I'm sorry. This many trees, this mesquite grove right here over next to the Tanque Verde Wash, the Tanque Verde and the Pantano meet, all these trees and stuff, this is not something you typically see in the desert. I'd be used to seeing rows and rows of cactus and lots of creosote and ironwood. This is really nice. Definitely appreciative. Definitely appreciative. This is to show you guys how much wildlife impacts my house. What I've got over here is an entire covey of quail. Ran into my garage as I was trying to close the door. So you can see them right there, squeaking along. That's a quail. Gamble's quail, little baby Gamble's quail. They're lost. Left the garage door open to cool off the garage after parking the bikes in here. There they are. There goes Mama. Mama gave the call. Hopefully the babies will go too. So now I have to leave it open long enough for them to get out. Hey Mama, please come get your babies. There's 2 or 3 of them, but there's a good dozen of them down there. I mean, they're quail. They're the cutest little things, but I don't need them in my garage.